Hello, just Gem here and welcome, or indeed welcome back to my channel. I'm going to apologise in advance here because my microphone has been very temperamental. I can't figure out what's wrong with it, but every now and again it just makes this horrific sound in the footage, and I've got no choice but to just cut massive chunks out of my videos sometimes. You may have noticed that maybe there were some weird jumps in the last upload that I did, and that will be the reason. So until I sort of figure out what's going on with my mic, there might be some weird jumps here and there where I have to cut out little chunks. But yeah, I can't pinpoint what it is. I've got no idea what's going on. So just to give you advance warning in case there's some weird jumping around going on. Today I'm going to be looking at this little palette, which I think you can see. Oh, it's not too bad. I thought that would be horribly reflective. But it's the Danessa Myricks Beauty Mini Freedom Palette Pastel Dream. It's a mouthful of a name. Some of these makeup products, the names just get longer and longer. So if you're familiar with the old, well, I mean, it's not old, it came out last year, but the last Lightwork palette, it was Lightwork VI, and that was the big Freedom palette. So Danessa's come out with an extension, and that's what it looks like inside. So this arrived yesterday, so I have had a little bit of a swatch party. And speaking of swatch parties, actually, I may as well cut to the swatches for you now so that you can see them. Here are the swatches of the Danessa Myricks Beauty Freedom Palette Pastel Dream. I don't know how well you can see the shifts that are present in those duos and multis there. So in person to me, that looks green. I think you can see that. This one looks peachy gold, whereas I think on screen it might look pink. And this one, it's got silvery tones to it. That's my light over the top, but that's very bright. Let me tone that down a little bit. Yeah, I think that's better. I just want to try as best as I can to show you the shifts. The mattes were quite soft and creamy. It'll be interesting to see how they react when I put a brush, swirl a brush in there. It might be best not to swirl a brush in the pan. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what looks I can get from this little 6 pan. While you watched those swatches, I thought it would be a good idea to pull out the palette I was talking about. So this is the Lightwork VI, the original Freedom palette, the mother palette, shall we call it. That's what she looks like on the inside, side by side. So that's the original, one of the original sextuplets, sextants. The original, one of the original 6s, and this is the Pastel Dream version. So just to show you that they are the same, and then each of the pans in here, they come out. So it's an extension of the original palette. I am today just going to focus on this mini, but if you would like to see how you can sort of mix and match and maybe do looks across all 4 of the 6s, let me know, because I'm happy to do a follow-up video on that if you'd like to see it. And you'll see there, so that's the exact same thing. This lid here is a mirror, so I don't know why I'd want to switch them out, but if I really wanted to, I could. So the new lid fits in that place, so exactly the same. So it's quite a nice little modular system, if you will. I did have a little bit of a play around, so I have a bit of an idea of what I'm going to do, and like and another apology, I'm trying something different with my hair because I put so much product in it sometimes that I do fear it's just all gonna fall out on me one day. So I've put no product in, and I've done my best to try and tame it in its natural form. I don't know how successful that's been, but there we are. It's also freshly washed, which makes it extra poofy. So what I was thinking I would do is, I kind of always do this, but I'd just like to demo the versatility of a palette, if it has the versatility. So I'm thinking I'm almost going to do, that's a bit washed out, so that's a bit better. So I think what I'm going to do is almost like a neutrally look with these two, and then see what I can do with the more colourful pastel-y tones in this. It's worth saying as well, so the original Freedom palette, that's all shimmers. I think there's one or two sort of satiny shades, but generally they're all special in some way. This one is 3 specials and 3 mattes. So over 227, and I'm going to go into that browny shade, this one here, and that's called Moon Dust. And we'll use the little lid mirror there as well. So my plan had been to film with this yesterday, but work is just sort of whooping my behind at the moment. I can't seem to, I mean, I do catch up, but it just kind of, it requires me putting in extra hours, which, you know, it's part and parcel of the job, at least the job I have. And it's not always like this. It should let up, but at the moment it's just heavy going, to the point where I'm not 100%, ooh, what's going on here? To the point where I'm not 100% sure when this will be uploaded. I'm filming this on a Wednesday evening. It may be that it doesn't go up until Friday night, just because I won't have the time to edit it before then. So this is blending quite nicely. What I found when I swatched it is the mattes were quite, they felt smooth and they picked up really well. So you got a lot of pigment when you picked up the shades. And this, I would say, it's got a peachy tone to it, this brown. Like peachy undertones, I'd say. So I haven't dipped in any further. I'm almost just using whatever's left on that brush just to cover my lid. And I've got a combination of kind of concealer and this random NARS primer, which I do like. I'm gonna have to figure out this. I don't know how I got this. It's the NARS smudge proof eyeshadow base, but I actually quite like it, so I'm gonna have to see if they still do this. So now I'm going to go in with Gilded Dream, which is this one over here, and I'll put that on my lid. And I'm almost wondering if I get one of my Colourpop gel liners to, because it's going to be a very, very simple look, maybe I'll pick like an aqua or a purpley shade to line it with. I'll see. Tiny bit of fallout there on my cheek, nothing too concerning. Smooth formula, this shimmer. It's quite pretty. It's quite soft, quite delicate. I don't know what else I would want to do. I do want to keep it quite simple. I mean, it's only 6 shades that I'm working with, so I don't want to go overboard, because I could have done half and half, but I think that's quite a nice, soft, pretty look that you could do. Oh, actually, yeah, you can. I wasn't sure it would, but you can. Interesting. Okay. I'm going to have to put a bit more concealer on to hide that massive bag. Let's see what I can do with the other side. Let's start with the purple and I'll figure it out from there. The 231, which is a little bit stained. I do need to clean my brushes at some point. That's called Pink Mirage. It's a bit of a, it's almost like a lavender shade really. Yeah, Pink Mirage, right there. I don't know if this is something I should and would use a whiter based primer for. You can see it, but I don't know, I think I might use a lighter primer for this, just to make the shades pop a bit more. And now I'm going into Aqua Dream, and let's put that on the inside. I don't think I want to do too much or take it too high. I wonder if that's all I want. I'm hoping this is one of those where it comes together when I put the shimmer on. We'll soon find out. We'll sort of stick with the corresponding shimmers. So under the green I will put Galaxy Crush, and under the purple I will put Pixie Quartz. But maybe I'll put Pixie Quartz over most of the lid. Let's see how that looks. Ooh, okay. In hindsight, maybe I should have just blown the purple out a bit like I did on this side and put this over the lid, but then I wanted to try and use all the shades if I could to show you. I'll use my inner corner brush, my Zoeva 237, and I'm going to go into, what was it called again? Galaxy Crush. That's kind of cool. Let's see how far in I want to. I don't know actually. I might just keep it like that. I think this is possibly a palette where I would just use one matte. I don't know. I have another flat brush. I kind of want to take this over. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Maybe liner and mascara will bring me round. It's at times like this I wish I had a brown eyeliner, like a brown version of my Clinique, because I think that would go, it would be less severe, I think. So it's going to have to be black because that's all I've got, but I am going to have to invest, I think, in a brown eyeliner. I'm gonna rummage through my Colourpop gel liners and just see if there's something that will just make these pop a bit more. I feel like it does need something. I think that with liner and mascara, I think will do it. I think. So I'll be back. I've zoomed you right in so you can see the finished look on each eye. It has come together with lashes and eyeliner, and after saying I wanted to be delicate and use a brown eyeliner, I've done these like massive black wings, but I think it works. On this eye, I used Movie Star, and on this eye, the shade name I think is going to have completely rubbed off. I think it's Wild Idea. I think the green one is Wild Idea. But it's the not monochromatic, the duochrome, multichrome gel liner, and it's in this green shade. I think that's Wild Idea. And I think that's worked. It's kind of done what I wanted it to, I think, on both sides. So yeah, there we go. Simple eye, just 2 shades used. Bit more out there eye, 4 shades used. Do you have a favourite? I feel like I look a bit grey today. I don't know if that's just because it's a pastel toned palette. It's like cool toned pastel shades, and I've kind of leaned into that, so I've gone with the Pretty Privilege brush very, very lightly on my cheeks from Trigwell Cosmetics. And what else have I done? Oh, on my lips, I've lined my lips, broken record, 89 Fine, that's the Taj or Donnie Darkowitz collab with Blend Bunny, and I've used Starry Lilac today. Normally I reach for Nude Beige, but I thought Starry Lilac would go really, really well with both eyes, and like with a liner, I quite like that. So that's nice actually. Oh, I'll do that again. Yeah. And yeah, I just think it works quite well with both eyes. So I'm not gonna lie guys, I was nervous. It wasn't looking at all like it was going to come together, and I wonder if that's just because they're pastels, so it's more than anything you really have to trust the process here. But I was nervous, I'm not gonna lie, but I do feel like that's come together. I don't know if I would want more depth on this eye, and I think one of the reasons I was unsure is just because it looked so bare and so naked, but the minute I've added that massive black, well, I mean, I've seen bigger wings, but I don't tend to go as big as that, but I just kind of, I was trying to get them even. You know how that goes when you add a bit more and then you add a bit more, and then I stopped because I was like, it doesn't matter if they're not even, they're different eyes, they can look completely different, and that can just be the style, it's fine. I'm curious to try different combinations and see how they look, because I do think that using the brown and the purple or the brown and the green could look quite nice, and then maybe just playing around with layering the multi-chromes. Do I think it's a worthy extension of the OG Freedom palette, Lightwork VI? Yes and no. It should be all shimmers, guys. It should. It for the price point as well. It's $48 US or £53.50. I hesitated. I mean, not for very long, I must admit, but I did hesitate because I thought if it's $48, it's going to be 48 quid. Still extortionate. But there's tends to be discount codes you can use, even on Sephora, and I did get a discount code to get 15% off this. But it's not worth it, guys. I just don't think it is. Maybe if it was all shimmers, I'd be more impressed. Don't get me wrong, the mattes that are in here, they are very, very pretty. They are, the texture, the way they apply, the way they blend. I just had to finesse it a little bit, but I think that's just because I'm off my game today. I think it looks okay now, but I think they do blend well, and they feel soft. They do feel just nice on your eyelids as you're applying them. And I think a pastel extension, you know, for spring going into summer is a good shout. I think that makes perfect sense. But I wish it was all shimmers. Or maybe even just one more like special in here, I think would have made it a bit more justifiable. and I'm going to do a proper sort of in-depth comparison, because I want to do an individual video on both. And one of the reasons, apart from the price, that I almost hesitated when I picked this up is because just before I got this, and this is the Frosted Fairy palette from Kima Cosmetics, which is also a pastel themed palette. And I did hesitate, and I thought to myself, do I really want to pick this up when I've just got this? And I think the reason I picked this up is just because I've got the original. I love Danessa Myricks, to be perfectly honest. She's kind of like the only brand of her own name, or brand of their own name, that I kind of still support at this point. Wayne Goss doesn't have anything to do with Wayne Goss anymore. Pat McGrath Bailey has anything to do with Pat McGrath anymore. Charlotte Tilbury's a bully, and I've completely gone off Natasha Denona. So Danessa's kind of the only one who's doing anything for me at the moment. Do I regret buying it? I don't know. Let me review this, do some comparisons, and then I'll come back and let you know how I feel. I do think it's overpriced. I'm just gonna say it's overpriced. £53.50 for this is extortionate. I think another reason why I bought it is because I seem to be in this, like I said it the other day, I think possibly on Instagram stories, I'm in this you can't take it with you era where I'm just buying everything. I think if I had my sensible hat on, I would have paused for just that little bit longer, and possibly enough to talk myself out of buying this. If you've got all the Lightwork palettes and you think to yourself, do you know what, I've got the OG Mother palette, so I want this, then it kind of makes sense to. Like, I think for that reason alone, I probably won't end up regretting picking this up, because I think it is quite a nice little extension. I just think it could have been better. It's pretty, could be better. So that's my initial thoughts. But as I say, I will come back to this a bit quicker, just because I want to compare these two palettes, and then as per usual, it will feature in a future what do I think now. And I am pretty impressed as well. Like, one thing about pastels, and that's another reason I think I went with going it over not buying it, is because it's Danessa Myricks. If Danessa Myricks is producing pastel shades, you know that they are going to be showing up on someone with a deeper skin tone. I felt confident that these would work on me, despite the fact that they're pastels, which are notoriously difficult to get to show up properly on deep skin tones. So I have to give it that, absolutely. Even if the delivery person who has your package plays rugby or football with this palette, it will arrive intact. So the mini palette came in this box, which was in a, where's that sleeve it came in? Oh, I can't seem to see it at the moment. But it came in like this little sleeve inside this box, which was inside some bubble wrap, which was inside more bubble wrap, and then that was all inside here, and I believe this was also in bubble wrap. It's that fine line between I'm really glad it was well packaged so it's not going to arrive damaged, to is this overkill, I feel for the poor planet. Much like the original Mother palette, Mother Freedom, it comes with this vegan leather pouch that you can pop it into as well. So that's my initial first impression. Are you picking this up? Have you already got it? Is it on the way? What do you think? Have you passed? I've heard a few other people say that they're skipping because it's not all special shades. So I'm curious to know what other people think. Danessa Myricks Beauty Mini Freedom Pastel Dream palette. As always, thank you for taking the time to watch. I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and I also hope to see you again in a video in the not too distant future. Take care. Bye.